offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
And it bangs off the right upright, no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you could see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Outside handoff to the right.
A big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. They'll set up a throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. And complete. Right side to tight end Rudolph. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night. When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. From the right hash here. Should be an easy one. Carlson able to put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
Gun! Watch it now, Barney! Gun!
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him in contract. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Wiggles free. Flushed out right. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun! Now let's go! Green, 39! Green, 39!
They're going to look to throw. He finds his target, Fuller. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
all these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. Montgomery hit, and the ball is loose. And this belongs to the Vikings. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he's able to hold on to the football.
Green, 39.
They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. Got his target, Samuel. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
No. Check. Patriot. Hey.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Cook able to escape. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
The return of Cook, a big boost to this Viking offense. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And they'll run it here. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited.
And a loose football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
No. Check. Patriot.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
They'll look to throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Back to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Gone!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Gone! Hot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Handoff comes to Cook. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back.
Set. Green 39.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end pass rush. They've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Roberts with it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He'll look to throw. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going up top. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 14 yards that time for number 14.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On the crossing route, complete. That's Fuller. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Gone! Here we go now.
Looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. They'll drop to throw. Going for it all. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Oh, it's no good. Carlson pushed it to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So that now 3 misses here in this first half.
And the important thing is you just can't get discouraged. You may still have some chances to make amends in the second half, so you've got to get yourself in the right frame of mind to get the job done.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, that'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete here. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
To the air again here, Rivers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 6 yards on the pickup, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The 13 yards that time and a first. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
No. Check. Patriot.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And tough.
Check. Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Detroit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Rivers now on second down. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trevor Williams there on the coverage.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and forever. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Fielded just inside the 30. 31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Leopard!
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. Back to throw here. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to run past the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Hurry up,
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. They had just lost the lead. That deficit sure didn't take long to erase. They return the ensuing kickoff for a touchdown.
Love the thunderbolt that just came out of that one that puts them in the end zone and back in the lead. Your only question, your defense just gave up a score that put you behind. Will that score you just added on the board will energize them? Or do they have to go back out there and they're a tired unit? We'll soon see.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
And they'll run it here. Able to push his way through. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No, check.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Eluding the pressure right. He can run through. Now the ball comes loose, and this belongs to the Vikings.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Call it a loss of 14 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Second down, Rivers. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, Delta! Delta!
From the gun, Rivers. Taking a shot for Samuel. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Dancing to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, look at 56. Look at...
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now Catanzaro comes on in a pressure spot. This to potentially send us to overtime. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now come the Vikings. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Rivers to throw. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
I'm fairly sure that there's no good time to cough up the football. But this couldn't be much worse, could it?
No.
This situation, this yard line, no chance.
They set it on a T-form. They're already in field goal range here late in the 4th now.
Yeah, warm up the kicker and just make sure they take care of the ball now. They've got a chance to put this thing away.
So now it all comes down to Chandler Catanzaro. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So in a driving rain, he steps up, puts it through just like he's practicing in a gym somewhere.
How about that? Any little slip in this weather is going to throw him off. He stepped up there like it was perfect conditions, took dead aim, and knocked it through.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. This to tie things up in the final minute. And his kick is good. And we are all tied at 16 apiece. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Operating from the gun. Rivers. Flushed out right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The Vikings send out their punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Taking it about the 36. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now a first throw here in overtime. Flush to his right. And an alley to run. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Leopard!
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage It'll be back at the 36. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the right hash, this from 53. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And that changes everything here in OT. So it's his second missed field goal here. That wouldn't have ended the game, but it would have given him a leg up in OT.
And that's got to invigorate this defense. They did their part. Now it's time for their offense to put together a drive and seal the deal.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Play fake. Rivers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They pitch it out to Cook. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On third down, Rivers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. This is taken around the 12. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Buying time to his left. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal. And
you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And now out comes Minnesota, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there in overtime. 42 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be incomplete. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face. Good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Well, we had 2 ties last season in 2016, and now we've got another here.
They're part of the game, and I can sound philosophical here and say, well, what can you do? But neither